Hi, I'm Victoria Walsh from the Chatelaine Test Kitchen, and today I'm going to make a modern Wellington with pork tenderloin. Preheat your oven to 350. Have an ungreased baking sheet or line it with a little bit of parchment paper ready for when you make your Wellington. Measure your pork tenderloin so you know how long your pastry should be. Take your pastry out of its packaging. Slice about 1/2 inch from each end of your pastry and set them aside. You're going to use those a little bit later for decorations. Wrap them in a little bit of plastic wrap. And then take your piece of puff pastry and slice it in half. Set one of the pieces aside while you're rolling out the other. Lightly dust your countertop and then put one of the pieces of pastry on top. And then you want to roll it out so it's about 2 inches longer than your pork tenderloin was, about 8 inches wide. Dust away any excess flour that you have on your counter and then lightly spread the pastry with a little bit of dijon. You want to leave about 1 inch around the edges. Lay your prosciutto across the pastry. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. Put your pork tenderloin in the center over top of the prosciutto. Spread a little more dijon over the pork tenderloin and sprinkle with pepper. Whisk your egg with a little bit of water and then brush the edges of the pastry with the egg mixture. Pull the bottom and then the top part of the pastry over top of the pork tenderloin. Then press your edges together. They may overlap a little bit. Pinch the top edges of the pastry together to seal. Then roll out each end of the pastry so that it's a little bit thinner. Then fold the corners inward so that they form a triangle shape. It's sort of like when you're wrapping a present. Then lift the ends up and over top of the pork. Place the log seam side down on your baking sheet. Then you want to repeat for your next pork tenderloin and with the remaining pastry. Then poke small holes in the top of each log for the steam to escape while you're baking. Then roll out your pastry strips for decorations. We're going to decorate the log with a stem and some petals. Roll out half of it and then cut into some leaves and petal shapes, and then the other half cut into some slim strips to be the stem. Brush your logs with the egg mixture. Then press your pastry decorations on top of the logs, gently pressing into the pastry. Brush those decorations with the egg mixture. Careful not to pool your egg mixture or it will crust. Now your logs are ready for baking. So bake in the center of a preheated oven until your pastry is a nice deep golden brown. I suggest turning your baking sheet halfway through just so that you get an even golden brown. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes. And when you insert your instant read thermometer into the meat, it comes out at 170. Then when your pork tenderloin is done, let it stand about 5 minutes before slicing into it. For serving, you can cut each log in half or cut it into slices. For some side dish ideas, go to chatelaine.com/recipe file.